All right, so let's do a really quick scenario. You are a group leader for K students, for the kindergarten students. Lately, more and more students have been shoving, pushing, and grabbing other students' items, especially during activity center time, all right? They're pushing, they're doing all these different things, these kindergarten students. You have a choice of two different reinforcers. One, you can put up a 8x11 chart with every student's name listed in rows. Each student has 5 columns to the right of his name. And you can explain that when every student has 5 stars, you'll have a class party with music and treats. Awesome, right? Or you can develop a marble jar token economy. When you see students being safe by keeping their hands and feet to themselves, you put a marble in the jar, and when the jar reaches the line, you'll have a class party with music and treats, and you'll ensure that the party happens within 2 weeks' time, all right? Those are your choices. Which one, all right, which one of these choices do you think is the more effective choice? And I want to see by a vote in the chat, all right? By a vote in the chat, which one do you feel is the most effective one?
And Fred, could you go back to the scenario just so they can see it
Oh,
again?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sorry, my bad. I will share it again. All right, just one sec. All right, and the scenario is for the reinforcers, all right? The scenario was that you had, I'll let you see that again just to make sure everyone understands. The scenario was, you are a group leader for K students. Lately, more and more students have been shoving, pushing, and grabbing other students' items, all right, during activity center time, all right? That is the scenario, all right? Which one of these is a better reinforcer? And because I want to leave it up, Danielle, can you tell me what the count is in the chat? Because it won't let me see the chat when this.
Hold on, let me go there. Okay, so right now we have Chelsea and Whitney and Crystal both think it's scenario 2.
Okay.
Kim 1, Janet 1, and Belinda 2.
Okay, very good. Awesome. All right, so for a drum roll, please. Danielle, you got a guess?
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay, Danielle's gonna say 2. I am going to say 2, all right? Now, I can totally understand by those who picked number 1, selected number 1, all right? Who can tell me why, though, you believe that number 2 is a more effective one? For those who voted for number 2, why did you vote 2 instead of 1?
I'll just go ahead and add. I think number 2 would be best because it helps them work as a team, a group. It's more exciting. It's not everybody for themselves. You know, everybody has to be on the same task, like, you know, on every single daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, right? It's, you know what? The other one the other one may work, but it's kind of Lord of the Flies, right? It's like, unless every single last person does it, and everyone's going to know who hasn't done it, and they're going to feel bad about themselves. Their names are on the board. It's kind of like a hit list. Like, if you didn't do it, you're holding this up for everybody. Could you imagine that pressure on that last student who hasn't done it from everyone else in the class? It's like Lord of the Flies, right? So, whereas, and that's why you got to, I mean, and on the paper, on surface, in all honesty, when I first saw this scenario, I picked number 1, too. I was like, well, you know, you get this. And I was like, wait a second. It's not until you see the other one that you start to think about it. It's for exactly those reasons, right? This one, the other one feels more safe for the kids, right? It's not picking on any individual student. You know, every student is kind of anonymous, but you're working as a group, as a class, so you see the marbles going up. And it really, and I also love the fact that it's within a 2-week time frame, right? You have this, you got to make these things short. And I love that it's for that one particular thing. Yes, Danielle.
In your scenario, I would agree with, it was Crystal who answered the first time, I think, correct?
Yep.
That it was really looking at the class, because you said students, so you didn't identify a particular student. It was kind of a classroom.
Yeah.
That's why I picked number 2, because it seemed to be more of a classroom team type solution.
Exactly, exactly. Anytime you can defer to making these types of reinforcements something that's more classroom based and more on accomplishments where people aren't singled out. Because again, remember the motivation that we talked about, right? What if you have a group of students whose motivation is to avoid being called out or to avoid being embarrassed, right? And so by just putting their names on the board, right, if they're struggling and they continue to struggle, it's only going to make them feel worse and worse as it goes along, and that's not going to allow you to connect with them. And it'll also create animosity between them and the other class, because they want their reward, and they have to wait on this student, right? Whereas opposed where you do it the other way, there's a sense of safety for everyone involved. There's an emotional safety. Yes, Danielle?
And I would say, however, if you have a kiddo that is really struggling, so this is a student that probably is receiving individual supports.
Yeah.
And he or she, I won't, it has to be a guy or a girl, he or she is doing really well, then they can earn a marble for the entire class.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that would be a great way to support that student who needs that individual support.
Yeah.
And that, in this particular scenario where you have the class marble jar, that would be a good one for him or her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. Awesome. All right. So I think you guys got this. Nice work. Nice work. Thank you for participating.